Story starts with four friends who were trekking in isolated mountains or North Sweden. They were here for the last wish of their friend. Actually, months back, where after a party, our hero Robert and his friend Luckham entered a shop. Suddenly, robbers came in. Luke hides himself, but Robert tried to face the robbers. As a result, the robbers killed Robert ruthlessly. Robert was killed in front of Luke, and he could never recover from this guilt. It was Robert's dream to see this place in North Sweden, to fulfill the last wish of their friend. Luke took his friends together and came here. But journey wasn't easy. While returning, their friend Tom's leg got injured. It would have taken 14 hours to reach the hotel. But Tom's condition was so bad that he was unable to walk that long. To solve this problem, they decided to take a shortcut and go from the jungle. This decision was going to be their biggest mistake. Soon as they entered the jungle, the compass stopped working. Hutch knew that, but he didn't tell anybody, so that panic wouldn't be created. He thought that if they would walk straight, they'll make it out of the jungle. But the deeper they were getting inside, the more terrifying the atmosphere became. While walking, they reached a point where a black bear's dead body was hanging with a tree. His stomach was teared, and blood was still dropping on earth. All got terrified watching this. They thought it's a work of any hunter and walked away from there. But more worse happened when the night came and heavy rain started falling into the jungle. To be saved from rain, they found a small hut in the jungle. They decided to stay there at night and continue their journey tomorrow. When Phil went up to check if there is someone, then he saw a strange thing. There was a beheaded grass statue, carrying deer horn in hands. Phil called everyone else. All saw it, and he was unable to understand what was it for. Phil called it part of black magic. But Luke stopped him and said there's no need to be scared. Although the atmosphere was so strange there that no one was able to stay there for long. When they reached below, they all talked about this. Hutch said that it might be a part of any ritual of any cult of North Europe. In the dark night when all were trying to sleep, Luke felt like a white light is flashing on his face. When he went outside to check, he felt like he is in the same shop where Luke was killed. He was unable to understand whether it's a dream or a real light. Suddenly he saw that there was Horn's print in his chest. Then he heard a loud cry from the hut. He went inside and saw Hutch wet. Tom was still in a bad dream, and Phil was missing from the room. When Luke went up to find him, he saw Phil prostrating to the statue. Luke made him conscious again, and all decided to leave the hut. But as they stepped outside, they saw strange prints on the trees outside. This scared them more. Due to walking long, Tom's leg pain increased, but they had no other choice. And their real terrifying journey was about to start. They decided to go deeper in the jungle. Luke went up the hill to see that how deep is the jungle and how far are they. But as he reached the top, he saw a strange thing. Watching this scene, he ran out with fear and told everything to his friends. Tom took it as a joke and said that he is trying to scare everyone. To prove himself, Luke took off his short and shown his wounds. He said, "There must be something following us." Now they had only one choice, leaving this jungle as soon as possible. But they were unable to leave the jungle before the night. For their safety, they decided to camp there and wait for the morning. But when Luke tried to sleep, he heard a strange voice. First he thought it's his friends. But when he looked outside the tent, there was something else. There were some secret statues in the dark. Suddenly a white light sparked and Luke saw the same scene, his friend getting killed in the shop. But this time it was looking like the robbers are watching him. In fear, Luke went in the tent again. Suddenly Agent Shadow was seen on his tent and took the tent of his friend. And Luke woke up from this scary dream. When Luke came out, he saw Hutch as missing from his tent. Other two was trembling. Suddenly, they heard loud roar from jungle. And Hutch cries were also coming. Without thinking much, they went to find Hutch. Even after searching the whole night, they were unable to find Hutch. At the morning, after getting tired, they decided to first get out of the jungle and then come again with help. They went through the same way they chose first. After some time, they reached a point where they saw a scene which terrified everyone. Hutch's dead body was hanging with a tree, the same way as the bear's dead body was hanging before, and blood was dropping from the body. Everyone was scared. They knew someone was following them. Even after the fear, they brought Hutch's body below and took his compass and map. Without tools, they covered the body with tree branches. Then they left and started climbing the mountain. But a strange thing was also walking with them. After walking half the day, they reached the top. From there, Luke watched the end of the jungle and told his friends, but then his eyes got on the compass of his pocket. It was showing correct time now. But the strange thing was that below the mountain, there was fire burning. When Luke went to tell this, he said that Phil was searching something. Suddenly, a giant creature grabbed him, took him to the jungle while dragging him. Luke ran after him, but there was only a torch, and Phil was disappeared. As he picked the torch, a voice came from behind. Luke saw with the torch light that Tomb was hiding behind the tree. Tom told him that the creature took Phil. Now only Luke and Tom were left. Both decided to run as fast as possible. While running, they found a way full of lights. And on that, Phil's body was hanging on a tree. While that creature's roar was coming towards him. Now they had no time. While running in the jungle, they saw a small hut. Without thinking much, they ran, went inside, and shut the door. They thought that they took a right way to escape the danger. But just as they took a breath of relief, they saw an old woman in the room. Before they could understand anything, someone made them unconscious. When they woke up, they both saw each other tied in ropes. Actually, what they thought was wrong. No, they were trapped in a new danger. Suddenly, some people came in. One among them was the old lady. She came to look and check the marks on his body and smiled. Then she showed same wound on her body. After that, she reached Tom. After finding no wounds on Tomb's body, she ordered to catch him. They dragged Tom outside. Luke tried to stop them, but no one listened. After some time, he heard Tomb crying. Luke was unable to do anything. Suddenly, a woman said, "We are preparing for a sacrifice. All will over soon." She shut down his ears so he wouldn't hear more cries. After some time, they brought Tom outside and tied him with the wooden pole, where many skeletons were hanging already. Tomb realized that he would face the same. Luke was trying his best to be free from the rope, applying all force, but every time a few is left. At least he gathered courage and broke his thumb. Bearing the pain, he was able to be free. While Tomb was hanging with the rope, and he saw his wife coming. He thought that he is saved, but as his wife reached him and touched his face, Tomb realized that it's not his wife, but that scary creature. The creature was very scary. Tomb cried after watching him. His voice reached Luke. He started watching the scenario from the hole. He saw the creature clearly for the first time. The creature took Tomb to the tree and hanged him like everyone before. After some time, Tomb's story was over. After all of this is over, a golden-haired girl came to Luke. Luke hides his hands. When the girl was going, Luke asked, "Who is this creature?" Girl first ignored, but she replied. She said, "He can see your pain and choose you to finish it." After saying this, she shut the door and leaves. After she went, Luke realized that he has very less time, and he has to run as soon as possible. As he turned to the door, the old woman came. Luke hired himself in room. There he heard some noises from the room. Out of curiosity, he picked up the lamp and opened the door. He got shocked after watching the scene. There were many people weeping. Gathering courage, he went deeper. He was shocked after realizing that they were not dead. This moment, he realized that immortality for them is that they were not alive, neither dead. To avenge his friend's death, Luke picked up the fire and started burning them. During this, the creature realized it, that they all are burnt. He ran towards them. They all started prostrating in fear. They all started to calm him and beg for their life. On the other hand, Luke brought a gun from the basement. As he tried to get out, he saw the creature on the door. Luke tried to run from the side door. After running a lot, he fell on the ground. He saw that the creature has picked up the dead body. Luke calmed his anger and picked up the gun and shooted the creature. Creature was unaffected, and now Luke was his target. Luke started running with his full force, but the creature was faster and reached him in no time. Creature put him in hallucination again. He saw a line of lights behind him. Without thinking much, he started running again. As he reached the shop, the creature came and kicked him. The axe fell from Luke's hands. Luke saw the creature was behind him. As he tries to move forward, the creature pushed him below. and forces him to accept his slavery. Creature started to do the ritual. Luke tried to run, but the creature pushed him below. But Luke picked up the axe and hit the creature. Creature shouted in pain. Luke ran towards the jungle. He came out of the jungle soon. The creature wouldn't come out. Luke looked back and shouted loud. At the end, he was the only one who could escape the jungle.